Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's lesson we're going to continue on with our custom JFrame. Now the problem with our first JFrame tutorial was that the user could not actually move the JFrame. So as you can see, there's no way to move our frame because the operating system JFrame handling does not exist since we took it off to make our own, our own design. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own. So if you didn't already see, hopefully you guys can see this. It's a bit difficult on my screen because of the contrast levels, but right about here you can see we have this top frame bar, and this is design preview, so it's not very accurate, but just take a look at that. That's our frame bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a label, paste it over our frame bar, and then just expand it so it goes across our entire GUI screen, and then just make it fit. If you guys are struggling to make it fit accurately, what I suggest doing is going to the properties, scrolling down to the bottom, and then you can accurately manage width, height, and X and Y coordinates. And mine looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So let's just change the variable name. Let's change it to frame drag. Click OK. Now as you can see, we have a minimize and close button as well. Now we do not want this frame to interfere with our minimize and close, so we're going to move this below our two labels for the minimize and close button. So that way, even if the user clicks on minimize and close, there's not another label over that will prevent it from happening. So you can see that's laid out pretty well. Compile and build, click on run, and you can see that the frame doesn't do anything. And if we hover over our minimize and maximize, our labels are still working. So we can close, minimize, do whatever you want to do. Now that we have that done, we're going to use the mouse dragged event. So events, mouse motion, mouse dragged. And this code is very simple. It's going to be about 7 lines of code. And what we're going to do is we're going to get two positions on the screen. Now these positions are called X and Y. X is basically horizontal and Y is basically vertical. So if I specify 0.00 on my screen, it'll be on the top left hand corner. If I specify 1920 by 1920 by 1080, it'll probably be on the bottom right hand corner of my screen, because width is 1920, height is 1080, so it'll be on the bottom right hand side of my screen. Now in case you didn't already know this will come in handy a bit later. In Java, whenever you draw something on the screen, it draws it from point 0, 0. That's basically called the origin. If you guys do maths, you know about the origin on the Cartesian plane. But it draws it from point 0, 0, and in Java, point 0, 0 is not in the middle. It's actually in the top left-hand corner. So that right there is point 0, 0. On your screen as well, that right there is point 0 and 0. So that becomes in handy because you'll see a problem that we will get to. Obviously, I'll show you guys how to fix that. Okay, so what we're going to say is we're going to say int x is equal to, I'm sorry if I'm typing really badly, I got this pop filter and it's kind of blocking my view off the keyboard. So okay, anyways, int x is equal to EVT. Now EVT may seem foreign to you guys, but this is just the mouse event handling that's going on here. You can see we have mouse event EVT. That's the name that Netbeans gave us, so let's just use that. EVT.getX on screen. Netbeans recommends it for us. Do the same thing for the Y. Get int y is equal to EVT.getY on screen. Now for the purpose of the tutorial, to prove the thing that I was saying a bit earlier, we're going to say system.out.println. I do apologize if my key presses are a bit loud. I've got a new microphone, so it's pretty good at picking up everything that's going on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click our label and then move it around. Now what's going to happen is that in this output window on the bottom left hand side of our screen, you're going to see X and Y coordinates of our actual screen. So wherever our mouse is on the screen is what will be put in this output window. So I started at point 810.418, and you can see as I move it around, you can see the coordinates being placed on the bottom left hand side of our screen. So if I move it on the top left, that's point 0, 0. If I move it on the bottom right, this should be point 1920 by 1080. As you can see, it's pretty close. I have two screens, so you can see mine goes all the way to that value right there. But anyways, that's just proof. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our JFrame coordinates to what we just did, the X and Y coordinates. So Netbeans in Java has a simple method. We say this dot set location, which is pretty good. Location int X, int Y. You can see we've already declared int X and int Y, and Netbeans found that. in our parameters section of that method. So if we run our program, you can see our frame is now movable. Now this is the problem I was talking about. I've pressed the mouse. Now when I move it, you can see that the frame automatically snaps to my mouse position. Now why is this happening? Because we are basically setting X and Y coordinates, and the frame is moving to those coordinates by 0.00. So that is why that is happening. So as you guys can see, it's a bit annoying. I think if you continue using this, you'll probably get over it. But I am a perfectionist, so I wasn't happy with that. And I decided to create another method that'll prevent that from happening. So we're going to go to events, mouse pressed. Now why are we using mouse pressed? Because we are using it in conjunction with mouse drag. Now whenever you drag something, now what the heck's going on here? Why is my thing spelled incorrectly? I'm sure I'll put the E at the end. Whatever. My Netbeans is being a bit glitchy actually. But anyways, I was saying that they work in conjunction with each other. Because when you press your mouse, you do this. You click it and you hold it down. And then a mouse release is when you let go. The mouse click is when you do this. Pressed, release. So this is just a simple event handling that Java can work with. So right now, mouse pressed my frame, and then this is called mouse drag. As you can see, now we're dragging it around. So you can see why it works in conjunction with each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to get the X and Y coordinates of our actual GUI. Now not of the entire GUI, just where you click to drag the mouse. So anyways, we firstly have to declare two variables. As you can see, I declared two just above my constructor, login GUI, X mouse and Y mouse. Now I did this because our values from our mouse press method will be put into here, and we will access it in the mouse drag method, which is right here. So we're going to say X mouse is equal to EVT dot, oh sorry, RVT, EVT dot get X, and then Y mouse dot EVT, oh Jesus, dot get Y. I hate how Netbeans does this. There we go. Okay, so now that we have that done, all we have to do is we just have to go in here. We have to say X minus X mouse and Y minus Y mouse. Now why do we have to do this? Now basically when I click on this GUI right over here, it's getting a coordinate of, let's just say 200 by 20. So X 200 and then Y 20. And it's getting those two coordinates. Now in order to keep the mouse in the same position, we have to make our GUI minus this value so that the GUI doesn't snap to the point on the mouse. I'm not too sure if you guys can understand what I mean. It's a bit difficult to explain. But whatever, you can see it works. Works pretty well. There's a bit of lag, you can see. Not really lag, it's just that the mouse moves and then the frame moves like a few milliseconds later. But whatever. It does work, it works pretty well. As you can see, I've implemented this with all my GUIs on this project. Just wait for this to launch so I can show you guys. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. This is my own method, completely built by myself. And it's much better than the code that you'll find online, which has about 50 lines of code, for loops, while loops, reading from database, hacking Google, just to move the frame. But anyways, that's just the simplest way you're ever going to find on the internet on how to move a JFrame in Netbeans. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.